What up, nerds? Welcome back to my channel, The Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie. Today is Saturday. It is Pi Day, March 14th. We are celebrating my friend Angela over at Literature Science Alliance, and I will be sure and link her channel below. She came up with this fantastic idea of doing a Pi Day book tag challenge, and she sent me the prompts so that I could join her and have this video up so that everybody can enjoy it on Pi Day. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at the questions. I wrote them all down so I wouldn't forget them. Prompt number 1. Pi is an irrational number. Name a character who you feel is irrational. The first example that leaps into my mind of an irrational character is Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. If you'll remember, Haymitch specifically tells her, do not run to the cornucopia that they have. Basically, it's a trap. I mean, they had all of the weapons and everything laid out there for her. He specifically tells her to avoid it at all costs. Of course, once it all starts, the heat of the moment, the adrenaline's pumping, she sees it. What does she do? Her first reaction is to run over there. Peeta sees her and he shakes his head. He's like, no, remember, don't do it. So she hesitates. And as a result, she misses the opportunity to get the bow and arrows that she saw laid out. And then what happens? She's pissed. She is pissed at Peeta. Peeta, who probably most likely saved her life, reminded her what Haymitch told her. And I mean, that is 100% irrational. There was no logical reason for her to be pissed off at Peeta. I mean, Peeta is just trying to keep her alive. She wasn't supposed to go after the bow anyway, but she's still mad at him. There were tons of little examples. I mean, that's just an oversimplified one, the first one I could think of, but there's tons of examples where she is irrational all throughout, and the author even has her realizing that she's being irrational. I mean, when you're writing irrational behavior for a character as an author, it can be extremely difficult for your character, because if it's just out of the blue, I think it can have the potential of causing a disconnect with your readers. But like with Katniss, I mean, that was logical. I mean, it was a human reaction, so it made sense. It added to the story, in my opinion. Prompt number 2. Pi comes from the word, oh Lord, I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, perimitros, which means perimeter. Talk about a book that has to do with borders between countries or worlds. So I am currently reading American Dirt, and this is so fun. And I would say I am 250 pages in. I am well over halfway into this book. It is an incredible journey of some migrants fleeing from their home, Acapulco, to try and get to safety in the United States. And this author has done a phenomenal job. It is a fictional story based on some truths. What this author is doing, in my opinion, for those of us who have not been personally touched by what is happening to the people in Mexico City and Mexico, and the dangers that they face on the daily, what she is doing for us, she is putting a face on these people. She is individualizing so that we understand. She is trying to help us understand that these are not they're not poor people. They're not people who are running from crime that they have committed, things of that nature. These are working people who have been forced on the run due to the horrible cartels. I mean, these people it's so difficult for them to make a living because they have to pay for protection. They have to pay the cartels in order to even attempt to do business. I mean, It is insane. And this story has been amazing. It's an epic page turner, but you follow a mother and her child. They are on the run from a cartel, and you're following them as they are escaping and traveling through different means throughout the country and the different dangerous cities through Mexico, and eventually as they cross over into the United States. I know there's been a lot of controversy around this book and its author, but it is an outstanding story, and I encourage everyone to pick up this book. I have been enjoying it immensely and cannot wait to finish it and do a full review. I am so eager to finish this book. I really wish I could sit down and finish it this evening, but I have dinner plans. One of my brothers is in town for spring break, so I'm going to go meet him and his family for dinner, but I hope I can steal enough time to try and finish that book today. Okay, prompt number 3. Pie is a constant. What is a comforting book that is constant in your life? I recently reviewed this book on my channel. It is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Sorry, there's a glare from the window across from me. This book is an amazing story of unconditional love, and this book perfectly illustrates unconditional love given freely and unselfishly from a husband to his wife. And I have read this book countless times. I have recommended this book hundreds of times, and it is just an amazing, it is a love story. It also demonstrates the unconditional love that God has for his people. And if you're not aware, this is a fictional retelling of the book of Hosea from the Bible. It's beautiful, and I will continue to reread this book for years to come. There is no doubt that I will continue to read this book over and over as the years go by. Prompt number 4. Pi has infinite decimal places. What is a series you feel will never end? Okay, so I am quite sure that I am going to share this opinion with probably everybody in the book community, but a series that I feel will never end, ever, like ever, Shadowhunters. Cassandra Clare will probably continue these books from the grave, and I'm okay with that. I kind of got out of reading for a few years. I was just busy doing other things. I had other hobbies that I chose over reading more. And so I started the Shadowhunter series. I actually have the first few books of all of them, but I would say I have maybe over half of each series. So now that I'm back into reading more, I am looking to complete those series and get caught up. And when I went to the website to look it up, I was just freaking floored at how many books she has, and she's still going. So without a doubt, that series will never end. Okay, the 5th and final prompt. What's your favorite pie, and name a book that you feel embodies that pie? I did Google it to make sure that this is considered a pie, and it is, and that's cheesecake. My father-in-law makes the most, oh my gosh, I don't even have the words, but his cheesecake is absolute perfection. Not only in taste and appearance as well. Like, they look perfect. And when he brings it over and it's still warm from where he just finished baking it, y'all, it is heaven. There is, I already loved cheesecake before I even had his, but his is life-changing. And so cheesecake, I'm thinking cheesy, I'm kind of cheesy. And so the perfect book for that is Round Ireland with the Fridge by Tony Hawk. And I'm planning to do a readathon on March 17th for St. Paddy's Day. Round Ireland, it's Irish, St. Paddy's Day, it fits, it works. Any rate, I'm going to reread this book on the 17th because this book is hilarious. I remember the first time that I read it, I just remember laughing almost constantly. So I am really looking forward to doing that again. But just to give you an idea of what this book is about, have you ever made a drunken bet? Worse still, have you ever tried to win one? In attempting to hitchhike round Ireland with the fridge, Tony Hawks did both, and his foolhardiness led him to one of the best experiences of his life. Joined by his trusting traveling companion come domestic appliance, he finds himself in the midst of a remarkable adventure, at times emotional, at times inspirational, but more often than not, downright silly. I mean, can you just imagine a guy walking around the country pulling a little mini fridge? That is exactly what he did, and his adventures were just hysterical. Definitely worth the read if you haven't already. And that concludes the Pi Day book tag video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up below. I would appreciate it. It lets me know what you like, what you don't like. Y'all have a fantastic Saturday, and I'll see you soon.